All right, everybody, welcome in. Ready to dive deep. Today, we're tackling a question that's, well, it's sparked a few memes, let's just say.
Mhm.
That why do programmers prefer dark mode? Our source.
Yeah.
Just this quick little one-liner. Because light attracts bugs.
Uh-huh.
Funny, right?
Yeah.
But, like all good jokes,
Yeah.
I feel like there's got to be some truth in there somewhere, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, what might seem like just, a simple preference for a darker screen.
Uh-huh. It actually opens up this whole fascinating world, right? You can talk about visual ergonomics, psychology,
Right.
even a bit of sociology in there. It's interesting.
Absolutely, it's fascinating.
So when I think about this, the first thing I think about is eye strain.
Yeah.
Because programmers, we all know,
Yeah.
spend hours and hours staring at these bright screens.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's not even just programmers, is it? Think about like anyone nowadays, right? If you're staring at reports all day
Hmm.
or even just like endlessly scrolling articles, it's rough on the eyes.
Yeah,
It's kind of like, if you were to just read bright white paper for hours on end, it gets to you.
totally, totally. And so dark mode, it's reducing that visual fatigue, right?
Yeah.
It's huge, especially because, a lot of programmers, they're working in these dimly lit environments.
Yeah, for sure.
So it makes a big difference.
That makes total sense. It's like, when you're driving at night and you dim the headlights, it's a
Right.
little easier on the eyes, less glare.
Exactly.
But you know what I find interesting too? It's not even just the eye strain thing. I feel like dark mode almost helps me focus.
It's like it minimizes other distractions. Have you ever noticed that?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Like what's going on in our brains when we switch over to that darker interface? Is there something to that?
I think that's a great observation. And it really speaks to kind of the cognitive load that programmers are dealing with on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So think of it this way. Your brain, it's like a computer processor. Okay.
Okay.
Programmers, what they're doing is very complex tasks, constant, lots of mental resources being used.
Yeah.
So by reducing those visual distractions, right, dark mode is almost like freeing up RAM, on
Yeah.
your processor.
Right.
So it allows you to dedicate more brain power, more of that processing power to actually focusing on the code.
So instead of your brain trying to like take in every little thing that's brightly lit on the screen,
Yeah, all that extra noise.
you can just kind of hone in on what's important.
Exactly, exactly. It's like creating a visual tunnel, right? Your attention is directly on what matters, which in this case is that code.
Yeah, it makes me think of how, like, people talk about being in like a dimly lit library. It's like this focused environment.
Right, right.
All of a sudden, the distractions fade away, and it's just you and the words on the page.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah,
So the environment, it seems like it plays a huge part in all this.
absolutely. Yeah. But, we can't discount the aesthetics either, right?
Right.
There's something to be said about that, even the social aspects of this preference.
It's not all function over form, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll admit there's like a little bit of a cool factor.
Yeah.
Having a dark interface, it's like, are you a hacker in a movie all of a sudden? I don't know.
Right, exactly. Exactly. It's funny you say that because you're right. It's often associated with that, right?
Yeah.
Sleekness, sophistication,
Mm-hmm.
all those powerful tools and code editors that everyone wants.
Right. And then there's also, the whole shared identity aspect.
Yeah.
It's prevalent within the programming community, right?
Yeah.
And even just having that shared preference, like as simple as it is a color scheme, it builds that sense of belonging.
Yeah, it's like a secret handshake or something.
It is.
Like a visual cue that's like, hey, we speak the same language. We get it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, we've learned something really interesting here, right? This seemingly simple thing, why programmers like dark mode. There's all these different factors.
Mm-hmm.
Practical needs, psychological benefits, even these social influences.
It really makes you think, like if we see other professions, right, where there's a big preference for dark mode, could be the same underlying reasons.
Very interesting.
So, something to think about. All right, everybody, thanks for diving deep with us today. Until next time.